Sparing the Dharma Assets, a brief Dharma talk from the Backyard Buddhist. There's a phrase in the Zen precepts that sounds, at first hearing, a little like something the treasurer might bring up at a board meeting. Do not spare the Dharma assets. Assets? That sounds suspiciously like we're about to discuss checking accounts, property insurance, and whether somebody remembered to pay the electric bill. And actually, we are. Well, sort of. But we're talking about something a bit larger than that. In the Bodhisattva precepts, this is traditionally expressed as the 8th grave precept, not sparing the Dharma assets. Bodhidharma's commentary puts it beautifully, I think. Self-nature is subtle and mysterious. In the genuine, all-pervading Dharma, not being stingy about a single thing is called the precept of not sparing the Dharma assets. That word stingy is important, because this precept is really about generosity. In Sanskrit, it's called dāna. It simply means giving. And generosity is the first of the 6 paramitas, the perfections practiced by the Bodhisattva. But Buddhist generosity has never meant simply dropping a few bucks in a basket and congratulating ourselves on being enlightened. But dāna asks a much more uncomfortable question. What am I willing to give to keep the Dharma alive? Now, historically, Buddhism survived because people answered that question. When the Buddha and the early Sangha wandered through India, monks and nuns depended upon lay people for food, robes, medicine, and shelter. The monastics practiced and taught the Dharma. The householders supported the practitioners. And a kind of beautiful symbiotic relationship developed. The monks received food. The village received Dharma. Nobody sent an invoice. There wasn't a platinum-level membership with preferred seating near the Buddha. People simply recognized that if something was valuable, it had to be supported. And over the centuries, as monasteries and temples developed, that support became even more tangible. Roofs had to be repaired. Rice had to be purchased. Candles had to be replaced. Buildings had to be maintained. Teachers had to eat. And apparently, enlightenment has never once convinced the electric company to waive the monthly bill. Somebody has always had to keep the lights on. That isn't somehow separate from Buddhist practice. It is Buddhist practice. In our own Soto Zen tradition, the meaning of Dharma assets extends far beyond money. It includes our time, our energy, our knowledge, our physical labor, our willingness to teach, our willingness to learn, and our willingness to make the Dharma available to others. The Atlanta Soto Zen Center's own teaching on this precept expresses exactly that. Dharma assets include financial contributions and material donations, certainly, but also our time, energy, effort, teaching, meditation practice, and participation in the life of the Sangha. That changes things a bit, because now we can't just say, well, I don't have much money, so this precept doesn't really apply to me. Oh, yes, it does. Welcome aboard. Maybe your Dharma asset is money. Perhaps it's cleaning the bathroom. Maybe it's showing a newcomer how to find a cushion. Or it's arranging flowers. And for some, it's teaching zazen. It could be about any number of things. Repairing a broken cabinet, answering an email, making coffee, washing robes, editing a video, sweeping the walkway, or simply showing up when everybody else seems to have mysteriously discovered something important they needed to do that morning. You know about that last one? It could be simply your presence. These things matter, because a Sangha isn't an abstraction. The 3 treasures are Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha doesn't exist somewhere in Buddhist heaven as a philosophical concept. It's here. It manifests in rooms, in buildings, on cushions, and among people. A practice place is where the Dharma is given physical form in practice. This floor becomes the Buddha way. This cushion becomes the Buddha way. The person ringing the bell becomes the Buddha's voice. The fellow unclogging the toilet on Saturday afternoon, God bless him, is practicing the Buddha way too. Maybe it's especially him. There's sometimes an odd tendency in Western spirituality to believe that anything involving money, property, administration, or maintenance somehow contaminates religion. That's a leftover trauma from our own Christian or Protestant upbringing. We've seen all of the televangelists' sagas of how they crashed and burned. Money was always in the thick of it. Sometimes it was sex, but most of the time, it was money. Adultery and greed will get you every time. However, we like enlightenment. We're considerably less enthusiastic about replacing the air conditioner. But emptiness does not mean the roof stops leaking. A temple may be empty of independent existence, but but the plumber is still going to want a check. Zen has never asked us to escape ordinary reality. Zen asks us to practice completely within it. Ordinary mind is enlightened mind. And this brings us to the deeper meaning of the precept. Dogen Zenji commented that one phrase, one verse, that is the 10,000 things and 100 grasses. Therefore, from the beginning, there has been no stinginess at all. In plain English, reality itself is endlessly giving. The sun doesn't send us a bill. Trees don't charge admission for shade. The breath we just took arrived without asking whether we deserved it or not. Life is continuously offering itself to life. So when we practice generosity, we're not manufacturing some extraordinary Buddhist virtue. We're simply participating consciously in what reality has been simply doing all along. And that means supporting the place where we practice isn't paying dues to a spiritual club. It is participating in the transmission of Dharma. It is the Dharma practice itself. The ordinary things are the Dharma teachers themselves. When we maintain the zendo, support our teachers, contribute financially, volunteer our time, welcome newcomers, cook meals, clean floors, or simply help create a stable place where someone can sit quietly facing a wall, we may be supporting the awakening of someone we haven't even met yet. Think about that. Someone may walk through the door 5 years from now because today somebody donated enough money to repair the roof. Someone may hear their first Dharma talk because another person volunteered to operate a camera. Someone experiencing the worst week of their life may discover Zazen because somebody kept the website running. We rarely know how far generosity travels. That's part of the beauty of it. There's another side to this precept. Dharma itself is an asset. If practice has helped us, then share it. If something has brought clarity, share it as well. We all need the clarity. If we've learned how to sit, help someone else learn also. If we've received teaching, don't lock it away like some family recipe we're afraid the neighbors might steal. The Dharma isn't diminished by giving it away. Quite the opposite, really. The more freely it moves, the more alive it becomes. Of course, that doesn't mean wandering through the grocery store, attacking innocent people with unsolicited lectures on dependent origination. There are limits. Sometimes the most compassionate Dharma teaching is simply helping somebody reach the cereal on the top shelf. But fundamentally, the question remains, what Dharma assets have been entrusted to me? My money, time, experience, my hands, my voice, my ability to teach, my ability to listen, maybe simply my willingness to show up. And then comes the harder question, am I sparing them? Because Buddhism survived for 26 centuries, not because people admired it. It survived because people practiced it, people taught it, people copied sutras. Temples were built, monks were fed, roofs were repaired, the floors were swept, incense was offered. People gave money, land, their labor. And most importantly, people gave themselves. Generation after generation, teacher to student, parent to child, monastic to householder, householder to monastic, one person placing the Dharma into the hands of another and saying, in effect, here, this helped me, may it help you. And now, quite unexpectedly, it has arrived into our hands. The question is, what are we going to do with it? We can consume the Dharma, or we can support the Dharma. We can visit the Sangha, or we can become the Sangha. We can ask what our practice place provides for us. Or occasionally we can turn that question around. What do I provide for the place that makes my practice possible? That isn't guilt. It isn't obligation imposed from somewhere outside. It is gratitude taking physical form. And gratitude that never becomes action is a little like buying somebody a birthday card and forgetting to give it to them. Nice thought. Wrong drawer. So perhaps the 8th grave precept is simpler than its strange old wording suggests. Don't hold back. Give what you can. Give money when you have money, time when you have time, skill when you have a skill, compassion always. Be a teacher when teaching is appropriate, and a student always. Be silent when silence is appropriate, and when the zendo floor needs sweeping, grab the broom. Because that broom may be every bit as much an instrument of Dharma transmission as the bell, the incense, the sutra book, or the robe. The Dharma has been handed down to us through countless generations of people who refused to spare its assets. And now, for this brief little moment in Buddhist history, they are ours to care for. So we care for them, we use them, we share them. And when the time comes, we pass them along. That is dāna, that is Sangha. And that I think, is what it means not to spare the Dharma assets. May you all be well. The Backyard Buddhist.